Hey, good people. This is Rocki with Rocki's Reality, the #1 podcast for unfiltered and unapologetic culture, entertainment, and relationships. Tap in live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as I chat with some of the dopest artists, celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs, and more. Make sure to catch us live Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku. See you soon.
All right. All right. Sounded like Elmer Fudd. If y'all don't know who Elmer Fudd is, then Google him. Listen, my guest knows because he's from one of the generations before social media, like me. But if you don't know who Elmer Fudd, though, but all right, welcome to Rocki's Reality. I feel like I haven't been here in a while. When's the last time we were here in the studio? Like about a month, huh?
Something like that.
Because I was doing my mompreneurs for Mother's Day.
No, maybe about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, thank you. Because Joe, it's been so much going on. My daughter graduated, my son graduated. These damn kids. I'm happy in the whirlwind. Like, well, welcome to Rocki's Reality. I am honored, you all. Y'all know I love music, so I love to honor Black Music Month. I try to recognize everything. Y'all know May was Mental Health Awareness Month. Also Mother's Day, so I have my mompreneurs. June is Juneteenth coming up, so I'm gonna have an awesome guest for Juneteenth. However, today, y'all, I got a living legend in the building. Y'all don't even realize, though, and see, this is why I love doing what I do, because I love shining the spotlight on people who really been in the background, but really are responsible for those who are in the spotlight. Am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah. Okay. So welcome to Drew Rives. It's Drew Rives, right?
That's right. You got it right the first time.
Yeah, listen, like I told you, I do my research. I was like, how sis? I want to make sure. Yeah. So you are retired from Def Jam.
Yes.
After 30 Def Jam Records, y'all. The Def Jam Records, by the way. After 13, not 3, not 13, but 30 years.
30, the big 30, yes.
And looking good here, looking like he only 36, y'all. Though. So
thank you.
Listen, his mama got that good. His mama passed down them good genes, y'all. Welcome to the show. So you're welcome. The Midwest Regional Promotions Director.
Yes.
Okay, because I had to ask. I said, well, what is his specific title?
Well, specifically is janitor, but yeah, Midwest Regional Director. What I was responsible for whenever artists came into town, I was responsible for setting up their itinerary, where they go, what they do, what they eat, who they meet, meet and greets, listening parties, different stuff for them, especially when they had an album coming out or a project coming out. I would set up listening parties for different people, invite some tastemakers, local celebrities, and different things out. But I was also responsible for getting the records played on the radio. So that's where the 700 billion come in, because we broke a lot of artists, in that process, getting a lot of records played. And I've been doing that since for quite a while.
30 years. And so let's go back though, y'all. Y'all didn't hear when he said 700 million. Okay,
was a billion, million, trillion.
All of that. A whole bunch. And you from the D. You from Detroit.
Born and raised.
So you from Detroit, not Detroit proper. Not like from the burbs. You not from Redford or Southfield.
Puritan and Livernois.
Listen, West Side. Ooh, over there by U of D.
Yeah. But a little further. Well. Yeah, close enough. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
UD was over in McNichols. I was the street before, so Puritan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm thinking about that area. I used to go to that Church's Chicken.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But my girl went to UD actually, so I was in that area a lot. And so
it's down in Livernois. I'm thinking, that's down in Livernois. So
yeah. Or am I getting it right? I'm probably having a brain fart.
It's in the area.
Okay, in the area, like my granddad used to say.
What's crazy though? The church right up here on Rosa Parks on the corner, Grace. Is it still called Grace?
I'm not sure because I'm not from this area. It is, Joe. Thank you.
I was in the Boy Scouts, and our troop used to meet at the church.
Look at how that come full circle. Lord. So y'all, the studio. Listen, I love it. See, I'm from the east side, so I'm not familiar. I'm from Mack and Van Dyke area, baby.
I lived over there too.
Listen,
I have family over that way, so.
I love it. Love it. So I'm honored, Drew, and I really appreciate you. Let me give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Give him his flowers, Joe. Like we definitely y'all understand 700 million records. I really, and with me being in media, I've realized that a lot of the people who make shit happen are the people we don't see that often.
Yeah. You're right.
Y'all the ones making shit snap, crackle, and pop.
You're right.
And you just ran down what you did, and I'm sure that was just like only a smidgen of the stuff, because artists can be a lot to deal with.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta know how to deal with different personalities, different situations that may arise. So it takes a lot to deal with that kind of thing. You have to be responsible for moving them around. So so a lot of times they might not want to move around. So you gotta be creative. Just have to think of things. You have to do things in order to. A lot of times, I don't have any problems. Well, I never had any problems, I should say.
When you say move around, I'm sorry, what do you mean specifically?
Because in a day's itinerary, we can be out from 7:00 in the morning to midnight or later. So we may get a day started with a radio interview or a TV interview or something. 7:00 and we'll do in the morning show. Then from there we may hit 2 or 3 other radio stations. From there. We may go to a store, in-store, do a pop through to an in-store or something. And from there, we may have a listening event. From there, we may hit a club. From there, we might go get something to eat. So it's a full day. Sometimes we didn't get a chance to eat. And I learned the hard way to not make that mistake many times.
Some snacks.
You got
some snacks.
No, you got to feed them. You got to find time to squeeze time in and make sure that they eat.
Yeah.
Not only them, but me too, because if I'm running on fumes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you need.
I got to drive
energy,
these artists around,
right? And you need to be alert and be able to, if you need to pivot and negotiate. So when you say move around, they might not be ready to move from the record store to the. Well, I'm sorry, we don't have y'all. The radio station.
There's still some record stations.
It's a few of them. It's a few. Okay, it's a few.
Let me tell you this. So before I did radio promotions, I was in retail. I worked retail. So I worked for Polygram. I started with Polygram. I got hired. Well, I guess I need to go back even further.
Because that was coming for the questions. I was about to say, tell me. We're going to get into the history of it, but I like to let it flow. So go ahead.
So I actually started at a record store. We don't have to discuss what I did before that, but
was it Sound Warehouse? Is that
Sound Warehouse?
Okay, here in the D.
But it went from Blockbuster ended up buying Sound Warehouse, so then it became Blockbuster Music.
Oh wow, Blockbuster Video.
Blockbuster Video bought Sound Warehouse.
Wow. So
they still had Blockbuster Video, but then we had Blockbuster Music.
Okay, yeah.
But Blockbuster Music did videos and music.
Yeah.
So
I kind of remember. Yeah.
So we I actually started out as Christmas help. I was working there and Macy's at the same time. And
so was it Macy's back then or was it Hudson's?
It was Hudson's. It was Hudson's.
Because I'm like, if we talking about listen, okay, because if we talking about back in the day, about 20, 30 years ago, I remember when it was Hudson's before it turned into Macy's. Okay.
And the reason
what is now known as Macy's,
because they had a hell of an employee discount that
listen.
I was
Hudson's, Macy's.
And so
they got the top notch shit. Yep.
Hey, so so I started. So I did both of those. After the winter thing was over, after Christmas, whatever was over, Macy's, I ended up, that was over. So that was Christmas help. And then Sound Warehouse ended up keeping me. It's like, hey, listen, if you want to stay, we love to have you. We like the way you work. We, boom, boom, boom. I was like, okay, sure. Like I said, this was out in across from Oakland Mall. From there, they moved me up, and I became a assistant manager over on 12 Mile at the store in Royal Oak. From there, I ended up getting my own store, which ended up being in Oak Park, across the street from Northland Mall. And that store became one of the, in my first year, became the #1 store in the chain in its first year.
Y'all was beating out Musicland and Sam.
We beat Musicland.
Listen, Musicland. If y'all don't know Musicland or Sam Goody, Google it. Google it again.
Sorry, Kyrie and Sugar Ray. I love y'all. We beat them. And they was the dogs. They was the beast. It was like, oh, y'all got a problem because that store across the street, they're some bad boys. So we ended up, I mean, for a couple of years we were the number one store. So that actually is where a lot of the artists started coming through, because a lot of the record labels wanted to bring their artists to the hot record store. Yeah. So we had, Redman and Meth Man came through. What's the girl name? She did the we had a lot of people. Yeah. There was a lot of different artists that came through. So that's where I ended up actually meeting a lot of the artists that I ended up eventually working with. We did that. So the store was doing so well.
Yeah, because you convinced them to turn the classical room into the jazz room, right? You was like, listen, let me help y'all out here.
So I understand that. You had no disrespect. We had people that did listen to the classical music, but I felt that we had a bigger jazz crowd than we did, and that ended up making the store even bigger. So a couple of guys, Bill Walden and Tim Spence, that were working for Polygram at the time, they, were just a couple of the people that used to come through. There were some other labels that came through, but they were with Polygram. And you had Rudy Greer that was with MCA. May he rest in peace.
I'm sorry, MCA. When you say MCA, you taking me back to my Guy days.
Listen, he worked with all those artists.
Oh my God, Guy and Father MC. Yeah. I'm sorry, you taking me back. When I see MCA, like Mary J. Blige, when she was singing back up for Father MC. If you know, you know, y'all. MCA is one of the pioneers, for real.
Yep. So he worked with them. Then we had another one of my mentors, Gordon Alderson. He was working for Capitol. Those were the ones. And then Lisa Coleman was working for Def Jam at the time. She was working Def Jam. But then, like I said, and then we had, my man Doug Smith. He worked for Warner Brothers, WEA at the time. But there was a lot of, they always came in. They would bring, artists through and different things. So Tim Spence and Bill Walden came through and they said, we want you to come work for us. I had already knew them because they were taking me to parties and different stuff, listening to parties. They were doing the things that I ended up doing. So it's crazy how
that you ended up doing as Def Jam's.
Well, as a Polygram rep first, and then Def Jam.
Okay.
So few people introduced me. I believe it was Lamont had introduced me to Johnny Walker and Lisa Coleman, and that's when I ended up meeting Montel and then Case, and to this day I'm still friends with both of those guys.
Shout out to Case. I'm trying to get him on the show, by the way. Shameless plug. I told him at your retirement, I was like, look, Case, I'm trying to get with you. So I did text him and send my email. I'm just waiting to hear back. So if you talk to him, just put, just tell him she legit. Like, come on through. Because I had his first CD, baby. Okay. Listen. And when Beyonce was in the video, if y'all don't know, Beyonce was in that Happily Ever After video. So but actually he was first on that Nutty Professor soundtrack.
Yep.
So Yep. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. I'm just excited, like y'all as we reminiscing, it's like
unless because it's. But I'm gonna warn you, because if you do that, then it's going to end up taking, because I could be all over the place, but. Because it's just so much. I know it's so much. So you all of those people, they were mentoring you.
So things were blowing up. And then they asked you, come on. Okay. Yeah.
I went to interview with my man Bill Schulte and Bill Twyman and those guys over at Polygram. And they brought me in for a second interview, and they said, we like this guy, we want him. So they brought me in. So I was hesitant, because I was having fun at the record store.
You was comfort there. You had established your spot. Y'all was number one for
And I'm getting paid. I'm working, talking about records, introducing people to new stuff.
Right. Dream job, man.
So they convinced me to go work for them, and I don't regret it to this day, because that took me into a whole nother stratosphere, because that's when I ended up meeting Kevin Lyles and Julie Greenwald and Mike Kaiser and Leo Cohen, and because they used to come to our branch and they would come and do presentations, and Bill Schulte was always hey, this guy right here, he's Def Jam material. You got to watch out for him. So when that time came,
I love that when they speak your name. Wait a minute, how is Leo though? How is he as a person?
I mean,
I get a perception watching him, but I just want to ask, like, he's one of the people like I've always wanted to meet though.
Oh, he
just seemed like he's just cool as fuck.
It depends with Leo. But I never had a problem. But Leo was cool with me. I went to a show at St. Andrews with him. I had met him before and hung out with him a couple, but I remember being at this show at St. Andrews, and Jay-Z had came out with Eminem. It was Eminem's, I think it was Eminem's show. No, it was Jay-Z. Was it the Jay-Z show? And I think Eminem came out on Renegade. That's what it was.
Ooh,
so
that's one of his.
And we were up in the balcony watching it. Yeah, so that was but yeah, Leo was cool. I mean, all of them were cool. Russell,
yeah, so Bill, you said Bill Schulte was the one who said, listen, you need to look out for him. He Def Jam material.
He was the guy that hired me a Polygram, and another guy that I'm still cool with to this day. He hired me a Polygram, and then once the time came for them to a spot came open at Def Jam, that's when they gave me the call and was like, look,
let's go.
I said, are you ready? Johnny called me. I'll never forget. I was in Cleveland. They had moved me to Cleveland. I forgot all. See, it's a whole lot of stuff.
I know. It's okay.
Because it's 30 years.
I know it's a lot. That's all right. I'm gonna bring you back though. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, they ended up moving me to Cleveland. So I lived in Cleveland for 3 years. And then I remember getting that call. It was in February. Now, mind you, it was a little friction because at the time, Universal had just bought Polygram.
Ooh.
So that merger had happened, and I actually survived. They were actually supposed to move me to Miami, but Bill Schulte, once again, looking out for me, said, no, I would rather keep him here. I need him in this market. And so they ended up moving me to Cleveland. So I lived in Cleveland for 3 years, and then that's when I got the call from Johnny Walker asking me if I was ready to come work with Def Jam. So then that's where I ended up at 99. Since 19.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
99. And we know 99 was an epic year.
Yeah.
Baby, I remember Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and DMX was on tour, baby. I remember going to that concert when Joe Louis Arena. Look, you taking me back.
That was one of the concerts I worked as a Def Jam rep. Yeah.
That concert was fucking epic. You hear me? To this day, I have not been to a concert that matched that concert. I don't give a damn. That energy and just how they were just so in sync.
Yeah.
Baby.
But once again, it made the transition easy for me because, like I said, a lot of those artists I had already knew. Like I had already met DMX when I was with Polygram. I had already met Jay a couple of times when I was working. That's the other part I forgot too. When during the retail part, that's when I used to go around to the stores. So like for Def Jam, I was going around to radio stations. For Polygram, I was going around to record stores. I was one of the ones that was going around putting posters up of the artists and promoting the artists and letting the record store know, hey, this is a new artist coming out, boom, boom, boom. And
you was the street team.
No, there was a street team.
Okay.
So
all right.
I was it was actually called the ADR Artist Development Rep.
Okay. All right.
There was artist development rep, but then there was another. It was a field rep, then artist development rep. So I was a field rep first.
Okay.
That worked everything from pop to, because I worked anything from Blues Travelers to Bananas in Pajamas to Jeanne. Remember Jeanne?
Oh my God. Come on now, I got that tape.
We worked Def Jam, we worked Motown, we worked Verve, which was a jazz label. We worked so it's a lot of labels up under that Polygram umbrella. So, like I said, once again, that's how I ended up knowing a lot of artists, meeting a lot of people, making a lot of connections. Tony Johnson, I forgot Tony Johnson. Tony Johnson was with Motown. But yeah, so I was going around putting posters up, and then when artists came to town, I was responsible then for setting up their store visits. So any stores from in the Midwest, Cleveland, Michigan, Ohio, I was working those stores and took artists to those stores. So then once Def Jam called me, then I ended up taking the artists to the radio stations. So do they
go to the stores anymore? In 2025, I miss them in stores, man. I miss them Tower Records.
Every now and then you may catch somebody doing an in-store.
Yeah.
Like I know this artist that's on Republic, Nav, he did an in-store.
Is that a subsidiary of Def Jam?
No, that's a whole nother story.
Okay. 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 But you know this okay. He's doing it.
Def Jam and Republic had merged, and it became Republic Def Jam.
Okay.
And
Got
others. So so he was on late. So I ended up working the company just got bigger and better, a whole new, that brought us they already had Drake, they had Nicki, they had, so then that I mean, in addition to all the Def Jam artists,
I know.
before and after that I was working, then I get to work with all these artists. So it just
it's a
anyway,
legacy. That's why I said you a legend. You've been part of a legacy. Like when I was looking at, like when I was thinking about Def Jam, I forgot it was some people on there that I didn't even realize had been on there, like Brandy. Been on Def Jam.
No, Brandy wasn't on Def Jam.
She wasn't on Def Jam. I thought she came on for a minute.
She was on Atlantic, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she wasn't on Def Jam at all. Okay, all right. But I mean, like Public Enemy, Redman, Method Man.
Public Enemy. I remember
LL Cool J, and I ain't know this Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber
on Def Jam.
Yeah, because he was on he was on
like all of these different, like, and now Mooney Long. It's like just Money Long. Excuse me, Money Long. Coco Jones, and that's where I met you.
Ooh, bad.
Yeah, she is so talented. Yeah. But I mean, it's just like the legacy, like DMX just alone. I mean, rest in peace.
DMX, Jay, Redman, Method Man, Capone Noriega. Man, listen, I can go
so many. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like I was looking, like
Cameron, Dipset,
right,
Rock
Trinidad
Nation, James.
There's so many.
I remember when I was in bed, woke up one morning, the TV was on, and I see this video. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm listening to
gold all in my.
Man, that's kind of catchy.
It got a gold all in my. Don't believe me, just watch.
I think that same week I found out that we had signed him. Was it the same week or the next? But anyway, I found out. I was like, "Oh, you gotta be!" I said, "Get the
nuts."
So that was nuts. Trinidad James ended up working Trinidad James. That boy's talented too. Yeah. He's still working.
What he doing? I was gonna say, what he doing now?
Like, I think I saw he's doing video productions and videos and different. But I know he's busy. But he was talented.
Wait a minute, another one I like, Benny the Butcher.
Benny the Butcher.
He underrated.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to work with him. I was mad about that one. Yeah.
I feel like he should have blown. He's an artist for me. I'm listening to his, because I'm old school. Yeah. Okay. I come from the Run DMC Tribe Called Quest, Rakim era. Okay. Because when I'm looking at talent, I need you to have a cadence. I need you to tell that story to intrigue me. So a lot of new school rap is hard for me because I'm still stuck in my EPMD. Like I remember my sister. That was my favorite. I brought them out one time in Cleveland. We were in Cleveland and I had them on a promo run, and they had a show in Cleveland that night, and they looked at me. They had just got back together too. They together. So we had the first album when they had just reunited. Business. And I had them, had them on the road. Well, that was the first album. I think it was Back in Business when they got together or something like that. But Strictly Business, that first album is like for me. Stuck in my head.
I mean, like I said, that was my favorite rap group. So
okay.
The whole day we riding around doing stuff and taking the radio, and we did in store different stuff. And so we get to the club, and it's like, yo, we want you to bring us out. I said, huh? I said, I ain't no MC. I said, no, we want you to bring us out. I said, oh, okay. So I did my little introduction and brought out EPMD.
Let's go. Right.
Yo, that was that's truly one of the highlights
that you remember. I love that. So wait a minute. I gotta ask, when you said you the janitor, I know you joking. And this is my thing though. Much respect to people who are the janitors. We really don't realize, I'm one of them people, like for real, I'm one of them people. I speak to the janitor because they the ones making shit happen. So you
whenever I go into a radio station, wherever, I'll always make sure if there was a janitor, I make sure I spoke to that janitor.
Exactly.
That janitor is the key to all, and he has
you better literally and figuratively. But no,
I mean, and I knew him by name too. So they knew me.
Important. People are So when you said, shout out to Anthony Thompson, when you said
my guy,
I love it. Shout out to him. One of the authentic real ones from the D.
Oh, no
by
doubt,
the way.
no doubt, for real.
When you said I clean up a lot of messes, what type of messes you clean up? Is there certain messes you specialize in, or specialized in when you were with Def Jam?
You name it. I mean, I had to clean up situations. I mean, like
beefs with the rap beef with the artists, issues with the venue and the promoters. What?
It was work. I had to get records played. So I had to do the dirty work. I had to do whatever it took to get these records played. I had to, get to know, my programmers and DJs and in all kinds of ways. So I had to find out what they like, what moved them in different. So I had to do the dirty work. I had to,
building those
do whatever it takes
relationships.
to build a relationship and get my records played.
Yeah.
And I think I did a very good job at it.
Yeah, over 700 million.
Well,
Yeah,
I can't take credit for all that. I cannot take credit. I've been a part of some very, very, very impressive teams from the beginning. From the beginning, me and my guy Mike MacArthur, Mike Mack, shout out to Mike Mack. We came in together and we became part of a team under Johnny Walker that started some stuff. And I mean, we made history doing that. And then, I was part of an amazing team that did some incredible things under my man Benny Pugh. Then from there, my man Rodney Shealy, we broke records and did things. We had some bad ass teams. And then this last team I was with, I was looking so for, because not many labels can say they went on 10-year runs.
Mm-hmm.
We went on 10-year runs with an S, not a 10-year run. We went on runs.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we did things, it was like, we were popping. We were the label that everybody was imitating.
Listen,
wanted to be like.
To this day, the name still rings. Like, for real, it still resonates. It's still much respect. It's for real.
Them white kids know more than
especially with the Beastie
they will
Boys.
stop
they just
me.
better.
Hey, can I pay you for
the
that?
Beastie Boys was on there too, right? Yeah, I mean, but not just the Beastie Boys, but I'm sure other artists. Listen, the white kids loved hip hop more than us. Okay, a lot of times I would go to concerts, you would see their asses.
Yeah. Oh, deep.
Just
deep,
as much
deep,
as us,
deep,
if not
deep,
more so.
Deep.
Shit, they behind it. So I want to go back a little bit to Drew growing up in Detroit, Puritan and Livernois. Talk about the evolution of your love for music and what led you the path. Just give me the snapshot. I know it's a lot, but tell me about them moments. Because like for me, it was like on the porch listening to FM 98. Like before when it was the strong songs, back in the day, like going down to Hart Plaza and just stuff like that. Like memories.
First time I seen Run DMC was in Hart Plaza.
Ooh,
but growing up, I mean, it was. I blame it on my parents. They got me started early. I played 5 instruments. I played the piano. I started off with the piano. Played the piano. Played the drums. Played the piano, the drums. The trumpet, which was probably my favorite. I played violin.
Okay.
And I played bass guitar. So I played all these instruments. So at a very young age, I mean, music was a part of me growing up. My father used to DJ, then I took his stuff over and I started DJing a little bit. I didn't get much into DJing because I wanted to be an artist. So I thought I was gonna be an artist or part of a band or group.
Singing or rapping?
Singing.
Singing. Okay, you can sing.
I tried rap.
Okay, all right now.
I think
we got a little tenor bass going on here. Okay.
I think I'm singing. But I don't know what is. But anyway, I thought I was gonna be a singer. But I did try rapping. I actually tried to get a rap band or art. I never imagined being behind the scenes, doing something behind the scenes until, once I started working at the record store and I saw that you could do something behind the scenes and get paid from that. But like I said, I played a lot of instruments, so it was pretty much whatever me, my brother and sister wanted to do. They made sure we did. I played 4 different sports.
Oh wow. You was running their pockets. Their wallets, I'm sure, was empty. As a parent, we already know you keep these kids involved. It's either your time or your money being spent or both. It's just, but you want them to be well rounded.
It was baseball with the Boy Scouts team downstairs. Yeah, I played baseball for them right up down here at Glazer. I think it's Glazer. Down a little park down the way. I think it was Glazer Elementary. I think that's it.
Wow.
But so we played baseball, football, ran track, and was on the swim team. So I did all that. Like I said, I was in the Boy Scouts. But yeah, growing up for me was fun. It was beautiful. I mean, I had my brother, my sister, both younger, and
So you the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So we did.
Yeah, you got that oldest sibling presence.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You do though. You do though. It's not like forceful, but I can tell you like that quiet storm moving. Like it's moving though.
I'm a Cancer. That's why.
Oh my gosh. My sister Cancer. What, June or July?
Oh, July Cancer.
Okay. Oh, for real. So you going towards that Leo? Okay. My sister birthday July 18th.
July 9th.
Okay. Okay. So y'all are very artistic too, Cancers. Yeah. Very good listeners as well. Yeah. You had to be a therapist for some of them artists.
For
man,
artists,
I can tell they probably talked your ear off. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I guess that's one of the reasons why a lot of them, trust me as well as they did, or or I don't know. For people say I'm easy to get along. I don't know what they're talking about, but
y'all accommodating.
I'm either one or two things. I'm either people love me, or I'm an asshole. So
y'all can't be sensitive, though.
The ones that love me say, "How can you think he's an asshole?" The ones that think I'm an asshole say, "How can you love him?" Listen, I don't know. I'm just me. That's all.
Pick a side. It is what it is. Everybody, especially in this business, everybody ain't gonna like you. My thing is respect.
But
you just need to respect me. I don't even need you to like me.
How can you not like me? I'm a bad boy. I mean.
Toot your horn. So wait a minute, let's bring up some of these pictures of some of the artists.
Oh shoot, what we looking
at? Okay, so let's nothing too revealing. We just you like who we got? So we got Common and I'm not sure who the guy.
GLC, that's GLC. He was a part of Kanye's camp.
Oh wow,
yeah,
okay.
GLC.
That's young Common though. That's
on Spaceship. That's GLC. He was on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Okay.
And Common. Yeah.
Okay.
Common's both of them great people. Jada, another one of my favorites, and my brother LaRon.
He is.
Yeah,
Jada's so underrated. I love Jada Kiss. Okay. His lyrical dexterity is just like
y'all see that Red Bull Spiral freestyle
with Jada
with the locks and Jada. Yeah.
Oh, is that recent?
Yes.
Oh, well, I need to find that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because Jada's so cold with his. He one of them. I've had to rewind him back. Like, what did he just say? That's shit. He's one of them MCs for me.
He always showed me a lot of love when I think the last time I worked with him, that is an old picture. Look, I don't have no facial hair, no glasses. I'm straight thugged out.
Like you was kind of beefed up then too. You was looking like you was yeah.
I don't know what I was. But yeah, Jada, he jumped out of the car and he saw me and he's like, "Oh no, my God." And,
oh my God, you got that accent down.
He was good people. Babyface, he was on the label for a while, so that was in Chicago.
And that's what I'm saying. That's another person who was on the artist who was on the label.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Babyface.
Babyface, Tony Braxton.
Oh my God.
Mariah Carey. We had Mariah Carey. We had some of the baddest.
We had so many. Man, and I'm glad that Mariah is coming back out now.
Man, look.
I'm glad she coming back out with I forgot Larry Jackson. She's on his label. Gamma.
He's bringing
he about to bring that fire with her. Yeah. So I'm okay. This is LL Cool J.
Yeah.
I don't know what he wearing. I love you, LL.
That's my guy.
Listen.
Look,
but that
LL's a trendsetter.
He is. I love LL. You can never make me hate him. I love him.
Did you see any basketball players wearing any of that before you saw him?
Probably not.
See, now you see basketball. You see, he's a trendsetter. That's
LL.
L I worked with when I first got to Def Jam. I think I worked one of his last couple albums before he And but L always showed me love. Early in the days, I remember he was in he did a show, I think it was in Pontiac or something. And we were riding around in the limo. We went to the hotel, he kicked everybody out of the limo and rode around and he would say, "I want to play you something." He played me some music. And we just sat and talked about the music. And that,
What do you tell them if you okay. This is what I want to ask. And shout out to Jeezy. We love you here.
God, that's not that.
Him. Listen,
that's my brother right
Jeezy
there.
He's so dope.
He's another.
So he's another one I've had to rewind his stuff. Like, what did he just say? Because he said something. You better be listening to understand what he's saying. And see, that's the type of artist I like. Like, you gotta really be paying attention. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Snowman with the snowman.
That was the original shirt too.
Baby.
That's the original Snowman shirt.
taking it way back. So what do you do like when they playing it for you, Drew? And how do you let them know you like something or you don't like something? How does that go?
Tell them.
you ain't sparing no feelings. Listen.
I did it with Jeezy. Jeezy told me go back and listen. It was I forgot which song, but he said go back and listen to it again. I went back, I puffed me one, and I listened to it. I was like, he was right.
Listen. Sometimes you got to get the little herb to help you out.
I did it with The Dream, another one of my favorite artists that I enjoyed working with. I did it with The Dream. We were in Chicago after his show, House of Blues. We went back to the hotel. He said, I want to play this album. The album didn't come out because I forgot why the album didn't come out, but he played me and it was the fire. He's another dope artist that I enjoyed working with.
The Dream, because he's a consummate artist, because he's a writer, producer, singer. This is my thing though that I find with a lot of artists and what I call my B-sides. It'd be a lot of B-sides that should have been on the radio.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like I find like stuff that I listen to when I listen to a CD, I'm like, shit, I like this better than this thing. But I know the record label got they preferences and it's a lot of politics with that. But I'm like, damn, a lot of times I'm like, it's this B-side that's
work was given to me. I don't deal with all the politics.
Yeah.
No, but one of the things I guess about The Dream, I had him on a program run here in Detroit. And we did something that I believe was Plan B at the time. Was it Plan B? I think it was Plan B. It was in the basement, but we had him, and he was playing this album. But I had, I was doing something a little different at the time, and I had a live band that was, opening up for him. So the live band ended up staying. So as he's playing the album, the band starts picking up on the songs and starts. So he looked over and he's like, "Are they playing along with the song?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he flipped. He's like, "Okay." Then he by the time one of the songs was over, they knew how to play the whole song.
Yes, shit.
I know he wanted to take them on tour. I don't know if he ended up taking them, but he told them he wanted to take. But I remember him calling Karen Kwok that night. She was one of the high ups at the time, marketing. I think she was a VP of marketing. And he called Karen Kwok and said, "This is how I want the rest of my listening parties to be for the rest of this tour."
I know that's right. Listen, set the blueprint. They set the blueprint.
Yeah.
So how did you survive 30 years, Drew?
By doing stuff like that, different, being different. I think that I've been, I've
that 30 years a long time though. I think I don't think you realize how monumental that is. 30 years long, especially the evolution of the music industry within 30 years. You go back to before we had streaming, when we did have to go to the rec. My daughter she's 21. She could not believe when I told her, yes, we had to go to the store to get the album. You just couldn't press a button. You had to take your ass. And I remember like people would be standing in line sometimes, because I used to work at Best Buy. And I remember they would be standing in line. And certain albums would drop. They would be camped out the night before, waiting on the album to come out. I used to listening stations.
They used to drop on Tuesdays, and that was
instead of Fridays.
It wasn't always Friday. It used to drop on Tuesdays.
And Music Play, I would be up in there.
You could not get it. Well, some people.
Media Play.
You couldn't. You had to wait in line. If it was an artist that you really wanted, you had to wait in line. To get there. Yeah,
you waiting for it. They don't even understand it, like the evolution. How did you survive that? No, because it's a lot.
By the grace of God. First and foremost, because without him, I couldn't have done any of this.
So like your gospel rap too, though. He appreciated that gospel rap.
I think I said something that triggered it. And from that point on,
we look out for him.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, that's my guy right there."
Exactly.
I fucks with him.
Exactly.
God cursed him. He said, "I fucks with him."
It's okay. Exactly.
And like I said, I've always been a part of some amazing teams, but then I always had good sidekick. I shouldn't say sidekicks. I always had good partners that I ran with, or good people that I ran with. Like my man Lamont Hayes, my man Tim Spence, then my guy Ron Hurd, he's a national at Def Jam or Republic Def Jam right now, doing his thing. He was at the party. My brother LaRon Harris. I mean, me and that guy, that's a whole nother podcast in itself. So but I've always had some good people around me, and I've always had a lot of people that looked out for me. And they've always made sure. I mean, Chantel goes without question.
Listen, shout out to Chantel Nelson, y'all. Her fine ass. Chantel, no, I got a girl crush on her. I love her so much.
Chantel,
shout out to her. She huh?
We gonna fight you. She don't hurry up.
Well, actually, she here, but she just was gonna wait because I didn't want her to open up the door to interrupt the show. But she here.
No, she gives me energy. Can she come in?
I mean, well, Chantel, if you hear, can you hear her, Chantel? Let me text her. Let me text her. Come on.
That's my energy. Is she not here? Then we don't have to worry. But no,
I'm gonna text her now. I'm gonna text her.
I just been able to reinvent myself whenever I saw things changing. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she told me that she started using some words like visionary, and I was like, where did all that come from?
You know them buzzwords.
I'm like yo, but she you know, a lot of people that I've been talking to over the past couple of months really make me trigger a lot of things that I did and what I mean, I first and foremost looked out for my city. I've got so much love for the city of Detroit. I mean, it's the
big Lions fan too.
Look,
I see.
Look, I'm a Detroit sports fan. Period. I'm a Pistons
Let's get ready to pull that video up
fan.
though, actually, so we can see some of these accolades. But yeah, so all Detroit sports. Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yeah. I'm a Detroit guy. Red Wings, them all. I go to the games and all that. So yeah, I'm definitely fans of that.
Right. So this is a video, y'all, that I caught from Drew's surprise retirement celebration that was held at Chandelier. I want to say that was April 30th. That was, I mean, time goes so quick. Yeah. So it's just I'll give you the thumbs up when to cut it off, Joe, but I just want to play like a minute of it to capture like the essence and the energy that was in the room at the time.
That was a special night. That was
came in to present a little something. I got my man EP right here. VP over at Republic Def Jam. We got a little something for my boy. Yeah, man, we've been with this dude for 30 years, man. My man's been here, just in case you guys want to know what's in there. And on 30 years of dedication, passion, and valuable contributions to Def Jam, your work at Def Jam played a vital role in the label's massive success, contributing to 40-year legacy in sales of 700 million plus in album consumption. Your legacy at Def Jam will always be a part of our history. With deep appreciation, we thank you, my brother. Yes. We thank you. So appreciate everybody coming out. 30 years, and this is all the artists. You see all the artists over here? Yo, man, you gonna see some names on there that's gonna make you go, damn. Drew's got stories with all these artists. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, congratulations from your family, Republic Def Jam. 30 years, my brother. I've been knowing him the whole 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got some stories for your ass.
I love it.
Congratulations again, my brother.
That is dope. And his name, he's who?
That's Ron Hurd.
Okay, shout out to Ron Hurd.
That's my guy. What I love about that plaque. Now, first of all, I gotta shout out Def Jam, because Def Jam, man, and Chantel and Clever Curation.
They did that. It was nice.
Man,
it was nice.
They pulled out
oh my. I like that.
Look,
I like the pillows, the pictures, all of that. It came together.
It blew my mind. Now, first, I hate surprise parties because
you really didn't know.
Get left out. Nah,
you know what you thought was happening.
My wife told me she was taking me to dinner, and I thought it was crazy because I'm like, she don't like coming to the city, so why are we going to the city to go to dinner? But she said because we kept talking about the sexy steak place, so I want to take you to sexy steak because you always talking about sexy steak, and we haven't been there, so I want to go. You know, like okay. But then she made me wear a T-shirt that said the greatest. I'm like, why am I wearing a T-shirt that said the greatest if we going to dinner? Like, why I can't, put on a dress shirt or something? Just put your shirt on. Just put your shirt on. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I said, well, if I'm wearing a Muhammad Ali's shirt that says greatest of all time, then I got to put on some Jordans because he was the greatest of all time. So anyway, that's a whole nother story.
But that Al Wassam jacket you was rocking was
and then
out cold.
Detroit, baby. Once again,
listen,
I had the Detroit hat on, representing the D.
You were.
And then I had the Al Wizzy. Me and that guy we go back to 90.
He been holding it down.
Man, Bossum.
He's like a ghost, so like I've never seen him in person. I would love to see like who is Al Wassam. Well, like this is an actual person for real.
It's an actual person, but Bossum is the guy that makes he's the man that makes it happen.
Okay, Bossum.
That's my guy, Bossum. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, y'all, you want some fly Al Wizzy or anything you want? It ain't gotta be Al Wassam, but they got their own leathers that's fire.
Yeah, they are.
and they got clothing, but go see Al Wassam out in Dearborn. Please go see him. That's my guy.
Off Michigan.
Yeah, I've been knowing him for a long time too. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of these people I've known for a long time, and you see, I'm getting off subject again. We were talking about something else.
It's okay. We people know on my show we pivot. Y'all right? The party, yeah.
So
because I did want to ask what you were feeling in that moment.
Look,
when he was reading that had to be incredible.
It was special because it's first of all, I have a lot of plaques. I have a lot of different plaques. I don't have a Jay-Z plaque. I'm pissed about that. I don't know why I have a Jay-Z plaque. So, you know, somebody need to give me a Jay-Z plaque. Right. And I don't have a Jeezy plaque, which I don't understand either. That's weird. I'm not sure what. But anyway, that's a one-of-one plaque. So that's what makes that plaque so special. And the fact that Def Jam had that plaque specially made for me and then put every artist that I've ever worked on that. That's
phenomenal.
You know.
So what was the moment? Describe the moment, Drew, when you were like, I'm retiring. What made you say I'm retiring? I gotta sit it down.
Because I think that there's a lot of work out here in the city of Detroit and my other second homes like Cleveland and Chicago and Miami. Those are places I lived and worked. I think that there's some things I can do outside of the machine. And I'm looking forward to, I did want to just retire, but they're not letting me.
So you're not really retired then. You're not really retired. You just leaving Def Jam.
I was 11 years old. I was a paper boy at 11 years old. And I've been working since then. Yeah. And it hasn't stopped. So from now for me to just sit on my hands and say I'm retired and I can't do anything, and I'm sitting out here watching all this stuff behind the scenes that's going on, that's happening, and see all these people that need guidance or need some, some help or a little nudge or push to, do for. I think I can help.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely. Please,
in a tremendous
with
way.
Your expertise.
It's a whole nother generation that's coming up that don't understand that what's really going on and don't. They think which you can just push a button and this will happen and that. No, but it's a whole lot more to it.
A&R is like extinct. It seems like artists and repertoire. Like, do they do it anymore? I'm just going.
They do. They do. I mean, it's a lot of things.
We in the insta famous age here,
but they need people on the ground. They need people, on the at the beginning of situations to help guide them through things. So I think that and I might even try to dabble in a little politics or something. Not on the political side. I ain't talking about no running for no mayor, but I wouldn't mind working on that side as far as helping the city with some of the youth. So it's some things that I'm actually thinking about. But right now I'm under Chantel's thumb. With this Clever Curations, she got me working with her now. See how the tables flip. I was once her boss, now she's my boss. So, I think we putting some. That's why I need her in here. So I don't know where she.
Yeah, she said she in her way.
I
summoned her. No, she here in the building. She
trying to get this girl her props.
I'm a kind of take fault because I didn't want the door to open while we were on air. That was me trying to be semi-professional. But I summoned her. I said, "Come on through."
No, but she's special.
That girl making it happen.
Yeah, she's and I mean, from day one, she was a go-getter, and she ain't stopped yet. Just continue to keep doing her thing, and people gonna stop playing with her name too. They're gonna stop playing with her name. They're gonna stop playing with her. They're gonna make sure they give her props because she does the damn thing and she does it well. And I see her being a major part in this new renaissance that's happening here in the city of Detroit, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it. So
Hell yeah, they need you, Drew, for real. So what is it you look?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to
need
chill.
the expertise.
I'm trying to sit back, smoke my cigars, drink my bourbon. You know, I need as a matter of fact, let me put this out there. I hope one of these liquors. I need me a bourbon deal and a cigar deal.
Ooh.
Come see me.
Listen.
Every Wednesday.
My boy got Black Eden. You should try that. It's a black-owned bourbon. My boy John Joubert, Black Eden is his.
I'll check it out.
Maybe I can connect y'all and y'all could chop it up. Cause
let me know.
He has a bourbon and a wine. But his bourbon Black Eden.
I'd love to check it out.
It's based on it's inspired by Idlewild.
Okay.
And which is known as the Black Eden, and it's smooth. It's real smooth bourbon. Okay. So it's in a few stores around the city, and actually nationwide. He's in like Vegas, Illinois, Texas. So it should be coming out here in Michigan this summer. So maybe I could pass the info along, and y'all can connect, because I see you like them stogies too.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite brand or kind of stogie?
Right now, I mean, I really like a lot of Turos. Those have been good to me. But my man Jeezy turned me on to one that I have not been able to find. I don't know where but he always had. And every time I tried to find it, it was always sold out. As a matter of fact, I tried to buy him a box for one of his birthdays, but I couldn't find it. But right now it's Arturo's that I'm definitely loving. But yeah, that's my thing now. I have a neighbor that's retired, and he and I, he every now and then you might see him in one of the pictures on my IG. He and I, we on Wednesdays we sit back and we smoke cigars and we drink bourbon. That's our thing. So
I'm a dark liquor.
Myself. So,
I love me a good bourbon. I
mean, back in the day, I was all over the place, but we don't need to discuss that. So, Incredible Hulks and all those kinds of
all that. Taking it back. So wait a minute, let me ask this, and we got to get ready to wrap it up. And I do appreciate your time again for coming. And Chantel's trying to get in. See, I told you I had. Yeah, he got to unlock the door, so it ain't solely her fault.
So it's his fault.
Yeah. That might have been my fault, because I was like my grandma locking the screen. You know how when you raised by your grandma, you better lock that screen. But I want to ask, what are some qualities you've seen in artists that let you know, like, this one is going to go a ways, or this one is going to have some issues?
Work ethic. Look, I've seen a lot of come, I've seen a lot of them go. And one of the main things that all don't let me outwork you. I mean, I'm gonna try to do it anyway, because that's what I do. I got to make sure everything, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and all. So, I got to do that. So, but don't let me outwork you. And it's you the one that have to deal. You the one that's supposed to.
You gotta want this more than I do.
Yeah. So I mean, especially if you're just starting out.
Yeah.
So I try
younger generation. They.
I mean, I tried to let them know.
Missing at times.
And that's why I did artist management before. And me and my guy LaRon, we had a couple of artists that got signed before. But look, you just gotta want it. Don't. One of the main things was the work ethic. If you didn't have a good work ethic, and you didn't want to,
being on time, being courteous,
and you're a new artist,
okay,
look, forget about it. You ain't gonna last long. You ain't gonna last long.
Yeah.
Most of the ones I was correct 9 times out of 10. I was correct on the ones that didn't last. I ain't gonna say no names, but I was correct on the ones that didn't last long, and the ones that succeeded, and the ones that got to as far as they got. The ones that became superstars, because that's what we created, superstars, because we had superstars. I think all of them had superstar potential. You just had to work
for that shit. Yeah.
Speaking
of superstars, the one superstar that hey Chantel.
This nigga right here.
Yeah, we can't flip it on her. I told her I wasn't gonna put her on camera, y'all. But last year, Chantel Nelson was on the show, y'all. One of my big homies. Love her. We when we first connected with the Angela Yee, it was just like we was like peas and carrots from that moment. So shout out to Chantel.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, one of the big superstars that you helped bring to fruition was Big Sean. And so can we talk about that? How, speaking of work ethic, he seemed like he had a hella work ethic, because he was coming up to that station. Hounding you to introduce him to Kanye. So give us a little snapshot into that.
Yeah. Well, he was already going up to the station doing his freestyles, and so he was already a staple at the station. So somehow he found out, I think it was Gary Chandler,
Wow.
Gary Chandler. I think it was Gary Chandler.
Gary Chandler, baby.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, if you know, you know, y'all.
Don't let me start naming. We'll be here all night.
We talking about DJs who shifted the culture. Okay.
You want to know why I lasted so long? A lot of them DJs kept me going.
Yeah, okay.
They kept me live. So
so Big Sean, he was consistent coming up to the station.
He was coming up to the station. So I had Kanye in doing a promo run, and we had stopped by the station, and there was this kid that kept following us around, like, yo, why is this kid following us around? Beat it. He's like, I want to just, I rap, and it's like, yo, kid, we're working right now. Beat it. So he kept following us. So we got to the door, and Don C said, no, let me see what you got. Let me see what you got. And then he did his thing, and we all looked at each other like
shit.
Yo, okay. So then he gave I think he gave him a CD. It wasn't a tape. I think it was a CD. I believe it was a CD. Gave a CD. We listened to it on the way to where our next destination, and he had some stuff on it. He was dope. He was fine.
Yeah.
So maybe about 4 weeks later, Don C called me. He said, "Yo, Drew, remember that kid that rapped for us outside the radio station in Detroit? Do you have his name and number? Do you have his number?" I said, "No, but I'm sure I can get it." So I called Lieutenant Dre.
Wow.
So, yo, Dre, yeah, Lieutenant.
Who you coming with all the
Lieutenant?
Baby, listen.
I called Lieutenant Dre and said, "Yo, I need that kid's number, his name and number." And he said, "Yeah, Sean Anderson." He gave me the number, and it's like, "All right, thanks." There's a lot of background pieces, a lot of names that played into this. So that's why I got so much love for this city and the people in it, man. Look. We work together to make things happen. But anyway, I called him up. I said, "Is this Sean?" I said, "Listen, my man Don C or maybe Kanye is going to be calling you because they want to sign you." And he was like, "Who is this?"
He thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
He thought you was bullshit. He thought you was prank calling him.
And I told him who it was. And I said, I was with them, and he said, okay. So Kanye called him and he signed him to Good Music. And then he sat for a while because I had ended up moving to Miami and coming back. And when I got back, he was actually they're working in the streets. I remember my man Blue and his company were working the music out in the streets. But then we finally got a single, and they said we got a single on Big Sean. I was like, oh shit, so I came back at just the right time. Detroit artist, I'm back in the city, and so that's the single came out with Chris Brown, and then
maybe a bop, an instant bop.
From there it was on and popping.
I liked him instantly when I heard that. I was like, listen, I mean, Chris Brown is my boo.
Yeah, and he's another one, man. That guy works.
Chris Brown, I don't give a damn.
He works.
Yeah, he do. He a little crazy. I love a little crazy, but he works it. Yeah.
Sean worked. Sean did his Sean. I mean, he put in a lot of work. He still continues to put in a lot of work, and still got a lot of love for his city too. So that's anybody got love for the city, I got love for them. And I mean, this is.
Oh, I thought you was talking about Chris Brown when I said.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, my bad. Okay.
No, Sean ain't crazy.
No, he real chill. Chris Brown a little crazy though. I like his little crazy though, but I love it. See, that's that Aries in Big Sean though. We got that. We gonna work even in our sleep. We wake up working like what's what we doing? What we doing? And while we doing the work, we thinking about what's the work for the next project.
Yeah,
what I got to do for the year.
Still working.
And I love his evolution, how he has evolved and he humble.
Yeah.
He's an author now, doing all this stuff. And I love how he has his mom involved. That for me was always and she just like such a nice person.
Oh, she's
she
great.
Ain't no meanie.
Always had love
I love her energy was just so.
She always had love
chill.
for me. Always looked out for me.
Yeah.
She always whenever she always showed me love whenever she saw me. Always made sure I was good. You need anything? That's
the energy I got.
There's a lot of artists you don't get to meet, personally meet their mom. But she was. I met his mother. I met Ludacris's mother before. A lot of artists. There's quite a few of them. Joe Budden. I remember I went to Joe Budden's crib in New Jersey. I had him on a promo run, and somehow I ended up having to go with him to New York. I forgot how that happened. I think I was responsible for. He was on a tour. That's what it was. He was on a tour. I know we got to wrap. I'm sorry. He was on the tour.
Listen, I'm soaking it all up. It's okay. We be a little longer today. A little longer.
He was on the tour, and I had to be responsible for him that whole time. And so we ended up in New York, and he wanted to go shopping. We went to the mall. It was New Jersey, not New York. We went to a mall, and then he bought like $1,000 worth of caps, ball caps. And then we left there and went to his mom's house. I think his mom was trying to cook for us some, but we had to get back on the road, so we couldn't. But I remember I almost got in trouble with those caps too. $1,000 worth of ball caps. But
the record label was like
it's like what?
Okay, because he got out of
what
budget.
or what? But
Yeah.
no, look at
How many
the time,
damn
it wasn't no
caps is
budgets.
that though? So like fitted caps?
It wasn't no budgets back then. And we had to get the job done.
I love it.
It's whatever it took. So I
Listen,
did whatever it took to make sure
and
that
see, that's the work ethic that's missing these days. They be like, I need this and that. No, you need to do whatever. It's gonna be uncomfortable sometimes. Get that shit done. That's what I think these new artists are missing in a way. Some of them, they missing that grind. They want to be too comfortable at times.
Look, you trying to get me started into a whole nother.
I mean, I was just asking you if you know.
Look,
I'm just
everybody keep trying to give me these.
I'm just giving my perception.
30 minutes podcast that I try to squeeze 30 years worth of stuff into. I mean, we ain't even touched the part of me working artist and being a club owner and working clubs and doing all kinds.
It's so much. We're gonna have to do a part 2. That's all that means. To come back and you and Chantel gonna be on here together.
Look, I got a lot of people that got like chapters in my book. Chantel probably got like a whole.
Oh yeah, so you are writing a book.
That's a whole book on it in itself.
Let me know if you need a copy editor. By the way, that's one of my wheelhouses. You writing a book though? You really should write a memoir. You really do.
I got to wait till I'm out of till I'm completely out of my contract.
Okay, that's all right. But we can wait. We can wait. We can wait a few years. So. Thank you for joining us, Chantel. Talk about how y'all came together? Because Chantel said you were her mentor, and like you said, it seems like the student has become the teacher now.
No, she's the boss. She's the capo.
Yeah, she's
for
real.
Capo. Boss,
really though.
You trying to say something, boss, or no? You want
to say something?
She can tell the story. Look, she can tell the story better than I can.
Can you come right quick? Scoot your chair up right quick.
Come on.
Right quick. You know you fine.
She tell the story better than I
can. Now, just right
come
quick, y'all. This is Chantel Nelson. Y'all remember her from Clever Curation. Oh my God. So right quick, Chantel. Snapshot. How y'all met? Just come on. The relationship, how that
it was my very first day as an intern at JLB. My very first day as an intern at JLB. I didn't have a car. The first day of my job at JLB was summer jams. Y'all remember summer?
Hell yeah, baby. You sat at Chandler Park?
Actually,
or was it at Hart Plaza?
No, this is
No. Eliza Howe.
It was hot. Yeah, it was actually hot. Actually. Okay. But hot wasn't hot. It was 105.9 jams.
Yes. Before it became 107.
On the boulevard.
Yep.
That's how long ago it was.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I remember.
But the summer jams was at the State Fairgrounds.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. That's where the summer jams was at. Anyway. So I met, it was actually. It migrated to.
Because it moved around some, I remember.
But no. But here, the most important part of the story is this. So. Met him, cool brother. I'm having such a good time. And it's also Rockefeller. Everybody except Jay-Z this particular day.
Baby.
I met Sharon that day, same day.
Shout out to her.
This is everybody's at the same day, right?
So this was like when Memphis Bleak.
Yes.
My boy, what's his name? Beanie Siegel, all of them.
Things. Yeah.
Baby.
Yep. So we had the summer jams. He's cool. I'm like, oh, this is a guy that actually works at like a record label. I'm in awe at this point. This is the best job I've ever had. I never needed any money. I would just be in the mix.
Okay.
Period.
Listen.
So he gives me his number. He drops me off at home. Like, I feel like it was a couple of other interns in the car. He was just always like a big bro to all of us. Kind of like dropped us off at home. So that's cool. I'm working at the station now. I didn't see him again. Next time I seen him was at the Athenaeum. This is where all of the artists used to stay back in the day. Like, and of course, this was the person bringing them to the Athenaeum. So I walk in the lobby and I'm like, hey, ain't your name Drew? Do you know this man looked at me in my face and said, no. He said, no, actually, that's not my name. I was like,
confused.
Confusion.
Like, wait a minute now.
But the tenacity in me would not let me leave. So
Why you say no, Drew? You was just fucking with her.
Well, no, see, you got to
listen,
understand.
it was not a fun. Okay,
At that time, it was a lot of people. A lot of people was always running up on. Like,
Okay.
I knew it was a problem when the pizza guy came to my house and dropped off my apartment building and dropped off a pizza, and he said, "Hey, you Drew from Def Jam."
Oh shit.
I was like, "Oh
shit. Okay.
really?"
Damn. Okay.
It's like I wasn't in front of a camera, and so I don't know, but
right. But your
somehow
work spoke for itself. Okay. And so Chantel, you like, what the hell?
So what the hell?
What the hell? He right.
What the hell?
I know his name, Drew, because he dropped me off at home. I remember.
Also, I remembered I picked up every single thing I watched, exactly what he did, how he was moving and shaking on that day. Like I knew then, like that's the industry I'm going to be. I'm going to be doing something that.
Yep.
And so I didn't let him leave. I just pulled out my phone and I called the number that he gave me in front of him. I love it. And the phone rings in his pocket or in his hand.
Don't mess with the lead girl. Don't mess with the lead girl.
I don't know where it was, either in his pocket or his hand, but it was evident
that
this is you. And from that point on, it was pretty much like a preset situation. Like I wasn't going anywhere. I am finna work for you.
Yeah.
Hard on the finna. Like just because this is what I had decided.
I had 2 other interns at the same time.
No, you didn't. They weren't
3
working.
interns at the same time.
They wasn't really working for real. Listen.
Yeah, no. They weren't like Chantel.
Listen. There was a certain level of that. Every shout out to everybody that, got the tools and the lessons. But I can honestly say that some of us took it a little further and were able to really like generate, a business or some sort of skill set around the teachings. And just, it wasn't like a fun experience in terms of we're shucking it up, high-fiving each other every day. It was definitely a apprentice, you could be fired in 2 seconds type of vibe. So but that kind of energy I needed to learn and kind of build that thick skin.
Some people like me, some people thought I was an asshole.
We didn't actually become friends until after I didn't work for him anymore.
Listen, but here's the thing. I feel like they respected you though, even if they don't like you. Yeah, they got to respect the work ethic. They got to respect.
We never not liked
how you are.
We never not liked them. It was just very challenging, and there was no space for a gray area. There was no I thought, or you had to be certain.
You better be for sure. Shit.
You had to be direct, and you had to be strong. And so that's what I learned.
And have your shit together before you bring it to me. Don't come and I still got to do some of your work. Okay. Yeah, So, oh Lord, we could be here all night, but we got to wrap it up, y'all. So thank you, Chantel, for connecting me with Drew. I remember when I came to Black Tech Saturdays and you said that was your mentor. I was like, well, shit, I need to know Chantel's mentor because she be doing a damn thing.
Beat it.
But again, Drew, I really appreciate you coming on, and hopefully this is not goodbye. This is see you later. I hope we can stay connected because I really admire what you're doing, and anywhere I can support, please let me know. I would like to collaborate on some things because as you can see, I am a music aficionado. Like I am.
We got to go through the boss. I mean, I'm ready.
I mean, Chantel, don't you listen? She know I'm, I'll reach out. She know I don't have no qualms. Like, listen, hey, and she know I'm one of the people I reciprocate. I don't believe in just taking. That's not how I operate. So, and that's something again, and I feel is missing from the new generation. They don't realize that hoarding stuff don't make you grow. You gotta collaborate with people. We get more done, and I love that part where you said in Detroit you got a lot of people who support you and push it forward, and you got a great team, because it's always this stigma behind Detroit. We don't help each other. And it is some people like that, but we learn how to connect with those who are going to have our back and who we can have their back too. True. So I just feel like it's about finding your tribe. And if you telling me no, I'm gonna find a person who's gonna tell me yes. Like that'd be my thing when I'm talking to someone. Like, you must be the wrong person, man. I need to talk to somebody else. Can you refer me to the person I need to be talking to? Because it must not be you. So
we always had one of my bosses always, why are you talking to a person that can't tell you yes?
Exactly. Listen, that's how I be like, oh no, they the wrong person. No, I'll be on my email like, yeah, you must be the wrong person. Can you direct me to the right person? Because yeah, you can't make it happen. That's okay. Let me talk to the other person. So I want to end with 5 favorites.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it ain't gonna be hard. It ain't gonna be hard. It gonna be hard. So let's start with something simple. Favorite food.
Spaghetti.
Ooh, with ground beef or ground turkey.
Well, ground turkey. Now that I'm a lot older, and
Yeah, I see. We
try to eat a little healthier.
I know, right? With or without cheese on top.
No. See, look. It used to be this thing. I always, because the girls I was dating will always find out I love spaghetti because I always talk about my mom's spaghetti. So they would try to make me spaghetti. So I always had, they would always try to do different things. So I've had just about all of it. There was this one young lady who, oh my God, she put fresh veggies. She made the sauce. Woo!
It was good.
But
okay.
yeah, so it depends. It's just how you make it. But right now, I love my wife's spaghetti.
Okay, I was just about to say, it ain't as good as your mom's spaghetti. Is it?
It's better.
Okay, right, because you got to go home with her. Listen,
it's better.
Like your wife gonna be like, look, I heard you say. Okay, so spaghetti, favorite
and
food.
she puts cheese on top. Yeah.
What has we talked about the EPMD moment?
Yeah.
Which is classic. I was listening to that Strictly Business in my backyard. That's Steve Martin, baby. Quick story. My sister had this gray Plymouth Horizon, a hatchback. Old car. It's like a Chrysler.
I remember that. Yeah.
Old Horizon. And she was in the 11th grade and I was in the middle school and she would always pick me up in a tape deck. This one we had the tape deck and you had to flip the tape over, okay? And she would pick me up playing that Strictly Business and that Steve Martin and you a customer, baby. So that was one of your favorite moments. I can see why EPMD is your favorite duo because I definitely feel like they underrated. They so underrated.
No doubt.
But what's been another favorite moment for you out of these 30 years?
I only get to pick one. I mean, I have at least 10 I can rattle.
I know.
But you know what? I one that I never really talk about is being in the room with the whole Wu-Tang Clan. This was when I was working the Miami market.
You talking about like all 9 or what is it?
It was everybody except for ODB because they had just got back together for this tour. And this is when I was living in Miami. And I had him in Orlando, Florida. And you know what? It's great. That's the same night that Quentin Tarantino stole my girlfriend. It was a girl that I was talking to, and that's another story. But anyway, Quentin Tarantino was there. But anyway,
yeah, because we know he like black women.
We're in this room, and they said this was one of the first shows where they were all in the room together because they weren't all, all doing the whole tour. I guess they weren't in the room together, whatever. But I was responsible for that time, Meth and Ghostface at the time. So we had them. They would all started falling in. It's like, damn. And everybody started looking around. It's like, yo, this is the first time they're in the room all together. So somebody's like, we need to get some pictures. And I'm mad to this day that I cannot find that picture.
Damn.
But it was a picture with everybody except for ODB, and
classic.
It was classic.
Classic.
Yeah. So that's a moment. But and the same night that Quentin Tarantino stole my girl at the club.
Well, I want to hear that if we have more time, but we're going to say that for part 2. Okay, so with all you travel all over the world, I'm guessing we're artists. So what is your favorite travel destination?
Oh man, see, that's another one. I can't give you just one. I mean, I would everywhere that I lived. Cleveland, Chicago. You know what? See, I can't give you one. Chicago is special too. Chicago, I get so much love in Chicago.
Chicago is a vibe.
Chicago,
it's always a vibe there.
I have families. I have extended families now in Cleveland. Well, actually, all of Ohio. I have extended family in all of Ohio, Chicago, Miami, and Atlanta from this job. So to pick one would be, but
ATL is just a whole different.
Come
world,
on, man.
Baby. My sister says I love ATL. I hate that traffic, but I love ATL. Like every time I
love Atlanta. I mean, I love New York and Cali too. But Atlanta, Chicago, and Miami.
Miami is one of my faves. Listen.
So
I wish I was there now. But let me get back to it. Okay. So for you, So I know you said Jada, you said Jay-Z,
I got some dope
and
Jay-Z
Ye,
stories.
but
I got some dope.
I
Jay
bet
stories.
you
I got
did.
some dope Jay-Z stories.
You know, y'all could never make me hate Jay-Z.
I was on the tour bus with Jay one time, sitting in the back.
Jay.
I was in. We. I'll tell this one real quick. Jay-Z. He did a show here in Detroit. I think it might have been the same time I was talking about, but he did a show here in Detroit, and we were leaving to go to Cleveland the next day. And Bobby Dash was like, "Yo, why don't you ride on the bus?" Not Dame that Bobby Dash.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
And Bobby was like, "Yo, why don't you ride on the bus?" I said, "Nah, because I got to meet y'all there. I got to actually beat y'all there." You know, he's no, come on, ride on the bus. So I said, "Man, all right, cool." So I jumped on the bus, and I'm trying to be out of the way. I don't want to be in the way, so I go to the back of the bus, and I'm sitting in the back. I'm like, "Oh, it's nice back here. Nice and roomy." And so Jay comes back, and I was like, "Oh, he's like, what's up?" He started talking to me. And I was like, he said, "This me back here." I was like, "Oh, my bad. I was just trying to get out of the way." He said, "Nah, but you could chill for a minute." So then he sat down and we just started kicking it.
Yeah, he just seemed like he cool people.
Oh man, Jay.
I mean, he cool people. He never been like. So that's what I want to ask you though. What's your favorite verse?
Oh,
because I see on Threads, you had me last. I was looking at them. I was looking at those Threads. I'm like, he rapping all my shit. And it's like you were saying, and I was like, damn, I know that song. I know that song.
You asking me to pick one out of 30 years of how long was I with Jay? I was with Jay for a while.
I mean, it ain't got to be a Jay-Z verse. It could be an any verse because you had Biggie on there last night, or the other day. So it could be anybody. It ain't got to be no Jay verse. It could be just like any verse that stand out for you.
I can't.
I'm sorry. I don't ask the easy questions.
Yeah,
I'll ask the easy questions.
You know what? Okay. I'll give you. Well, no, I don't want to do Pac. I can't give you one.
It ain't just one.
Yeah, it's too many.
I wish Pac was still here. Rest in peace to him.
That's the thing. People change. No, I can't give you one.
Okay, we're gonna let that go. Last one though. What is your favorite thing to do when you're relaxing?
Right now, smoke cigars and drink bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoke cigars, chill, sit back, and just right now I'm just enjoying time with family.
Now that you not running.
Yeah. I've been away from family a long time because I was always working. So right now I'm enjoying this moment. I know my mother's loving it, and my daughter my daughter actually lives in Vegas, but
she's
she'll
gorgeous
be back,
by the way.
My daughter,
yeah,
she'll be here soon. So, she has a daughter, so I have my grandfather now. So I'm gonna, look to, hopefully spend those few days with them. That they'll be here, and then, but yeah, just spending time.
So
with
you just had a daughter, or do you have a son as well?
I have two stepsons. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Two stepsons.
Okay.
But they're like my sons. So Amir and Chris. Chris lives out in Vegas as well. So yeah.
I appreciate it. Well, happy Father's Day to you because this is Father's Day for the weekend on Sunday, y'all. Actually, man,
show the fathers some love.
Listen. I'm somebody who I'm like, don't discount the dads because thank God for y'all because it's many a time I told my kids like I'm off duty. Where your daddy? Wait, I want to ask this last. Yo, Instagram handle.
You don't want to keep asking questions. You want to keep asking me questions.
I know.
We're gonna be here for another hour.
I know. We're gonna wrap it up.
I got a story for everything you asked.
I know. We're gonna wrap it up.
Try to give you one. I can't give you just one.
I know, right quick. I gotta ask. What's the difference between Drew Rives and Drew Dada?
Oh shoot.
Is Drew Dada your alter ego?
Man, listen. See, I can't because that was from back in the day. So
okay.
I want to say Mike Matt gave me that name because when we got to Def Jam, I think we had to have nicknames. Well, no, actually, that came before Def Jam. It was before Def Jam.
Oh wow!
Because it was actually longer than that. It was actually Drew Dada. Well, that's see.
Oh shit! Yeah, about to let out the secret.
Yeah. But yeah, they're two totally different people.
Okay.
That's actually it's three different. You got to realize I'm either known as Drew Dada, Drew Rives, or professionally known as Andrew. So
okay. Andrew, your government name.
That look. Okay. That's the new money maker. That's gonna be the new money maker right there.
I ain't mad. Right.
Call me Andrew.
Right. Look at you sitting up straight with that.
Like, call me William. No more Big Willie. Call me William.
I ain't mad at it. Okay. All
Who
right.
said that? Y'all know who said
Okay.
that. Okay. Where we at?
Was it?
That's all the questions?
Wait a minute. I think I did hear that. Nah, see. No, it wasn't Will Smith, was it? No.
Yo, Joe gonna get on you.
Okay, let me go. Okay, Joe. Okay. Joe a hip
Shout
hop
out to
head
Joe.
too.
Shout out to Joe. Shout out to my man Joe. What was my other guy name I met?
Kyrie?
Yeah.
That was Kyrie. He's the founder of Detroit.
I like to say, I like the
Yeah.
setup. I'm feeling this.
I'm
This
glad.
is the setup, yeah.
So you gonna come back?
I mean, look, you have me. I'm telling you.
I mean, if that's okay with Chantel.
You got to
Listen.
clear with the boss.
Girl,
She about to have me on.
I know she's serious
strict
about it.
schedule right
I
now.
love it. Listen, that's Mrs. Nelson.
I'm scared.
I love it.
I am scared because what I put her through, so I'm scared what she about to put me through.
I ain't mad, and don't
She
let
about
that
to have me
Gemini
carrying
twin get
speakers and
you,
all
okay?
kinds of shit.
Don't let that Gemini twin
What?
get you. Listen. But I love that, and I admire that about her because I love people who had that same quality of we can get it in, but we about business too. Like let's handle the business. So
Look,
I appreciate that.
So when I come back, I have coin handler stories. I have Miami stories. I
Coin
have
handler.
Chicago stories. Yes,
Uh-oh.
yeah, come on, coin handler.
shit.
Y'all see?
Oh shit, no. Okay, so we got to do part two. We got to do
Tap,
part two.
man.
Lord. Okay, we got to wrap it up. Okay.
On tap. Got 30
All right.
years.
Oh my God, I know it's so many. It's so, and that's why I had to have you on here. And I
parties,
yeah,
you know, parties.
Baby, I know you got some stories.
Oh, I
baby.
forgot about my man Daz. I forgot Daz. I didn't even give Daz a shout out. Damn.
Well, go ahead. You
No, I mean,
Yeah, okay,
Daz, my
yeah.
man Daz Smith. That was my
Love
club
it.
party. See, it was. I can't.
We're going on another story. So,
Yeah,
okay, we're going to
I'm
put
sorry,
we're
I'm
going to
sorry.
put in a pin on it in it. But I want to thank Chantel for connecting us
Thank you.
because and I want to thank you Chantel for the invite. Because when I came across my phone, I wasn't about to pass that up. I'm like 30 years. I'm like, oh, I got to meet his ass. Shit, 30 years at Def Jam. I've got to meet him in person. Like, and I was telling my husband, I was like, boo, he done been responsible for helping with over 700 million. He like, yeah, that's so. Because my husband is a big hip hop head, real big, like old school hip hop head. So much respect to you for helping to shift the culture. Because Def Jam to this day, you got to put some respect on that name. Like they're one of the titans of the industry.
No doubt.
One of the titans.
No,
definitely
the titan, not one of the titan. You where that Def Jam sign at? Where that was at the party? Put that big ass sign up. That's huge. We're big. Def Jam was a big deal, man.
They are.
And I was honored to be a part of it.
Because Tayana Taylor over there now.
Oh my God,
Money Long. Yeah, they doing it. They doing it. Coco
Tiana.
Jones.
She
Man,
is
Coco
so creative, man. Tiana's.
Okay, we about to wrap it up. Y'all. But anywho,
the boss called.
Yeah, I know. She's letting us know. So y'all, let's wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up like Dave Chappelle said. Wrap it up, B. But thank you again, Drew.
For sure.
Thank you again, Chantel, and thank you all for watching. If you don't know, you don't know. Look it up, Drew Dada. Where can they follow you? Right? Oh yeah, last thing. Where can they follow you?
Drew Dada. I think it's on everything.
So that's DRU. DADA.
Yeah.
On everything.
On everything.
Okay.
I believe. I don't know.
Okay. Well, y'all figured out. Y'all find them if y'all need to.
You want to,
yeah.
You know to find them.
Right. So thank you for watching Rocky's Reality, everyone. I will see y'all next week. It's Juneteenth. So I got somebody who coming on who's civil rights attorney.
I thought somebody else was supposed to be coming up in here too. Where my people's at?
Oh, what? All I had with you was you today.
Okay.
It was just you, and I'm glad you had the time.
Was coming in, but that's cool.
Oh no, it's just
Will and
oh, that would have been nice. Oh, I want them to have them back on, but it wasn't today though.
Oh, okay.
Terrence, I need you. I'm trying to get him and Derek Coleman on. Man, but okay. Thank you everyone for watching Rocky's Reality. See you next time. June 19th, we'll be back on air.